Hi everybody and welcome back. My name is Kartinya and I am here with your Monday motivation. If you were here last week, you probably remember me talking about staying encouraged and finding ways to do so all by yourself. If you've had a hard time encouraging yourself because maybe you suffer from low self-esteem or your confidence has just taken a blow lately, then this video is for you. I think by now all of you know the drill, but for all of you newbies that are just joining us, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this page. And if you like this video, click the like button. Also, I'll be putting my social media information in the description box below. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's jump right into it. This week, I want you to be your own biggest fan. Usually when we talk about fans, we start thinking about celebrities, but why? Why are celebrities so important to us? Why do we value them so much? Why will we go to the ends of the earth to see them? Why do we hold them in such high regard? How is it that a person that's a stranger to you could possibly seem like the most important person in your life when the reality is we should be the most important people in our own lives? I should be the most important person in my life, and you should be the most important person in your life. Like I always say, things are going to be different for each person because we're all unique and beautiful beings. However, I'm going to share with you a few things that work for me in becoming my own biggest fan. I'm going to start by reminding you that I am 39 years old, and I think it was around 27 or 28 years old when I first started on this journey to becoming my own biggest fan. But I didn't know at the time that that's what I was doing. And I just got to the point about a couple of weeks ago where I actually am my own biggest fan. So I'm going to tell you the story, but I'm going to tell it to you in reverse order. I'm going to tell you the last thing that happened that pushed me over the top to becoming my own biggest fan. And then I'm going to tell you a couple of things that led me on the path to getting here. The reason I'm going to tell it like that is because if I could do this all over with the knowledge that I have now, I would do that last step first, and that would fix everything going for step 2 and step 3. So stick with me. It's going to be good. Step 1. An external source told me that I needed to be my own biggest fan. That sounds really simple, right? Well, it's actually easier said than done. And here's my story about that. In March of this year, I joined a new Muay Thai gym and I inherited 2 really great coaches. I had had 2 full fight camps and 2 fights fall through at the very last minute. At the end of my 3rd fight camp with this gym, I was exhausted, I was tired, and I was really getting down on myself. And after a hard class, my coach stood up in front of everyone and gave a speech, and I know it was directed at me. He said, "In life, and in fighting especially, you have to be your own biggest fan. You have to believe in yourself. You have to cheer yourself on." And for some reason, that just resonated with me. It clicked with me. It spoke to me. And he even went as far as pushing me towards behaviors that say I'm my own biggest fan. For example, after a hard round of pads or a hard round of sparring, instead of allowing me to do what came natural to me, which was panic and try to catch my breath, he would say, "No, put your hands in the air like you won the round." And I would do it, but at first it felt really awkward. But after a while, I started to get it. And naturally, every time the bell rang after a round, I would put my hands in the air like I won. And I would allow myself to feel the emotions of winning. Sounds familiar, right? So just that tiny little behavioral change and that one external source having my back really helped me change my perspective, and it changed my life. Since that worked so well for me, I have to pay it forward, so listen up. In life, you have to be your own biggest fan. You have to cheer yourself on like nobody else will. Even with small wins and small victories, you put your hands in the air like you won and allow yourself to feel the emotions of winning. Be your own biggest fan. Now, I do want to warn you that the positivity that goes along with changing your mindset and becoming your own biggest fan will make you sensitive to the negative and possibly toxic relationships that you may be involved in. And that brings me to my next point. When I became my own biggest fan, it only made sense to me to require the people who are the closest to me, the people who call themselves my friends, to be my fans as well. And here's the deal. That fanship is reciprocated. Crazy, right? To explain what I mean, I'm going to share with you conversations that actually took place with my ex-best friend and conversations that take place with my current best friend, and you'll see the difference. Ex-best friend. In 2013, I was contemplating going back to college to get my master's degree. And naturally, I asked my best friend what she thought about it. And she said that she thought that I shouldn't go back to college because if I got a master's degree, she would be the least educated person in our friends group. Current best friend. We don't really talk about education. It turns out that we don't value each other any more or any less based on the amount of formal education one or both of us has or doesn't have. That's crazy, right? Ex-best friend. I remember once my ex-best friend gave me a compliment and it sounded like this. Your hair looks really interesting. I like you better when your hair is straight. Current best friend. The last compliment I got from my current best friend sounded like this. You look really pretty today. And my response was, thank you, so do you. Crazy, right? Believe it or not, I could go on and on with examples like that, but I won't. I already told you guys that I was living a life where I thought I had really good relationships, and it turned out I had really crappy relationships. And clearly that relationship was one of the crappy ones. Now, the point of this is, when you start to become your own biggest fan, it boosts your self-confidence and it boosts your self-esteem. And people who have higher self-confidence and higher self-esteem can give real compliments to other people without feeling any kind of way about it. So I'm not talking about false positivity or fake it till you make it culture. I'm talking about fostering healthy, reciprocal relationships. But it starts with you being your own biggest fan. All right, guys, that's all I have for tonight. Do me a favor before you leave, though. Slide in my comments and let me know what steps you plan to take to become your own biggest fan. Also, if you like this video, click the like button and make sure you subscribe to this page. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch up with you later.